Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a couple of years since I did a heatless curls tutorial which got over 7 million views, which is crazy. And I've done a couple of reverse heatless curls and heatless curls on short hair, which I will link in the description bar for you. I've obviously seen the Unicorn Heatless Curls going around and lots of you guys asked me if I could do a tutorial on it, so that's what I'm going to do today. In my original one, I actually put in the description bar the Kitsch Heatless Curls kit, only because I used a bathrobe tie and not everybody seemed to have access to one of those. And then this time round I saw that they had this set, which was the heatless curling set that had a kind of like metal rod in it, and I thought this would be a really good one for the Unicorn Heatless Curls, so that's what I purchased. Everything will be listed and linked in the description bar. It's going to be super simple because, as you know, if you've watched my original tutorial, I don't use any products. I am only using this as a tool but nothing in the hair. So I've just freshly washed my hair and given it a bit of a dry, like 90% dry, so although it looks dry, it actually feels cool to the touch where it's still damp. It's really important to understand the weave-in technique. It's not the same as a standard 3-strand braid. With a braid, you're switching places. So the strand comes over here, then the strand goes over here. With the heatless curls, the hair starts here, goes around the heatless curler and back where it started. And then when you add hair to it, it does exactly the same. You add some hair, you go around, and then you come back to where you started. So once you've got that technique down, then we are good to go. It will give you a better idea of what we're going to do. Now, as this is going through the center of the head, this is going to put some amount of light pressure onto your parting. Therefore, it's going to push your parting flat, and we don't want that to set like that. So the best way around it is to do a very small zigzag. So starting at the front, we're gonna do a small zigzag. That way, when the parting comes down, we don't have a definitive line. So we have a very small zigzag. That way, if this bit goes flat, you won't have a distinct line going through your hair. And then do the same from the top of the crown all the way down to the nape of the neck. Now, as this does have a rod running through the center of the heatless curler, it means it's not going to stay in place while you start your weaving. So this will stop the curler from moving while you start your weaving. What I will say is you will want to watch till the very end, because I actually show you 2 different techniques for the unicorn curls, and the result you saw at the beginning is the second technique, but I want to show you both options in case you prefer a slightly softer curl. So as you can see, I've weaved the right side of my fringe over the top of the curler, taking it underneath so it comes back out where it started. Then I'm taking the right side over the top of the curler, underneath the curler, and back out where it started. You'll notice that I've weaved towards the front. So normally we would go underneath the curler backwards, but we have weaved to the front. That's because we've had to pin the curler in place. I'm placing this strand of hair between the opposite forefinger and thumb. Then I'm using my opposite hand to pick up some more hair on this side and adding it to the section between my forefinger and thumb. It's at this stage we can take off the hair clip because the curler's not going anywhere. And because it has that metal rod in it, it makes it easy for us to lift it up off of the root so that we can weave that hair up over the hair curler, underneath, and back out where it started. So as you can see, we're weaving backwards again. You'll understand what I mean if you take a look at the front section again. We weaved forward rather than backwards, but we couldn't get underneath the curler because we had to secure it in place with the hair grip. Now, if like me you have a fringe, you will see that the curls can start to become a bit looser if you're not careful. So just make sure that between your forefinger and thumb, you are constantly pulling quite tight at the hair, and you'll see that it stays in place. Otherwise you can find that that fringe can unravel. So with the hand that sits on top of the rod, I have one section pinned between my little finger and the palm of my hand, and the section that I'm going to be working on is always pinned between my forefinger and thumb. Then with my opposite hand, or my free hand, I use that to gather a new section of hair to add to the forefinger and thumb. While that's pinned in place, I use my free hand to lift the rod upwards off of the root to give me access to weave that strand with the new hair up and over and underneath the rod. Once that's in place, I then swap to my opposite hand and transfer those strands to my forefinger and thumb, and then repeat the process. I understand that the technique, if you're new to it, can sound fiddly, but I promise you, if you practice like I showed you at the very beginning of the tutorial with the bottom half of your hair, once you understand what you're doing with the weaving, it becomes second nature, and you'll be able to do it like I am here without even looking in a mirror. So again, you can see I've added hair to that new section, throwing it up and over the curler, lifting the rod, using my free hand to go underneath, swapping that section into my new hand, which goes between my small fingers, and then transferring the section I'm going to work with to the hand at the top between my forefinger and thumb. Use my spare hand to gather up a new section of hair, adding that between my forefinger and thumb, using the opposite hand to lift the rod and then pulling that round and underneath the rod, swapping fingers, and again repeating that process. I hope watching it in real time is easier for you to grasp what's going on. It's definitely easier to understand when you're watching it from this angle than at the front. You'll notice that the rod is relatively short compared to if you use a robe tie. I mean, that is because we've doubled it up for added thickness. If you did this in a single row and extended it to its full length, then it would be much longer, but your curls would be a lot tighter. So you do need to make sure that as you're weaving, you're keeping your weaves nice and close to the one above it. And that's especially important as we weave down towards the nape of the neck, because the rest of your hair, and mine's very, very long, it needs to be able to fit on the end of these rods. So now there's no more hair to add. We're just going to take each section up, across, underneath, and then back out where it started, and again repeat that with the opposite side because you're not adding any hair to it anymore. So we're just going to keep doing this until we get to the very ends of our hair. Once you've got them as neat as you can, take a clear elastic or a small silk scrunchie, whatever works for you. I like the little clear elastics. They do add a kink to the tiny ends of your hair, but it doesn't stay in for me. It drops out after about 20 minutes. So I don't mind using these clear elastics because it's nice and tidy. You should have something that looks like this, which is really cute. Ignore my little flyaways. I've turned up the front so that the front at night, if you sleep in it, it won't slip off. Now, if you are a back sleeper, you might find this a little uncomfortable. Side sleepers, perfect. So this is how it should look. It's actually quite cute. I wouldn't go out in it, but it is sweet. If you toss and turn a lot in the night, a silk bonnet will be a great way to prevent your hair getting too scruffy. I mean, this is really secure. What I did was, as I was turning it, I really pulled the hair quite taut around it. So this for me is not going anywhere. It's really early on in the day, so I will take it out in like 8 hours and just show you the result. If you find your hair takes quite well and you've got a lot of bleach in it, you can do this on dry hair, but you can also get a continual mist once you've put it in place. Like my fringe, because I did dry it slightly at the root to make sure it was nice and smooth, I tend to just go in with a little mister and just mist over the hair. And this will just create a little bit of a damp surface so that you find it takes better. So I've had this in for about 7 hours. It's a little bit warm outside and a bit breezy, so I had a little sit in the garden in hopes that it would make sure that it is completely bone dry before removing, because that's super important. Otherwise, whatever curl or whatever result you get is going to fall out, and this is completely dry, so I was really pleased that I could take it out before the end of the day. It's really nice, it's very soft. The curls are a lot looser than the original method using the bathrobe tie, which I much prefer. I think the material of almost like a terry toweling fluffy fabric really helps to create a better curl. There's just no comparison, it just feels tighter, the hair always looks nicer, but this is really lovely. It's just very, very soft, quite loose. So although it's produced a nice kind of like wave, I'd say it's more of a wave than a curl. There's definitely more volume at the root because we've got that zigzag part in. If that was a straight line, it would just be a very flat root. It's not as like wow as using the bathrobe tie. So maybe I'm going to dampen my hair and sleep in this. So I've taken my continual mister, dampened my hair, brushed it out, and then I'm going to reset it, but only this time I'm using the bathrobe tie rather than the silk/satin heatless curler. Good morning everybody, I'm back. I've been to sleep on my hair. As you can see, it's got a little bit looser and lots more flyaways. So let's take it out and see the result of this one. Instantly, when you're taking this out, you can see the curls are much stronger. I know it sounds odd to say it's due to the material, but I promise you, try both of them yourself and you will get a completely different result between those different materials. And I love how much bouncier it is. It looks so good. It was a long old day, but I think it was worth it. So much curlier, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is much more reminiscent of the normal heatless curls. My fringe is a lot curlier, but it's quite defined, which I really like. The difference between like the unicorn one and the original, I think, is that the root is flatter, because when you do the original one, you've got more lift all the way along. Even with my reverse heatless curls, you get more lift at the root. But the Unicorn one is definitely more comfortable to sleep in. It's just a bit flatter at the root. I think just a little bit of oil, like a very lightweight oil, just to refine some of these little wispy bits, and it will look so much neater. But I do really love it. What do you guys think? Take a couple of sections out and just recurl them individually, just with your fingers. I mean, this is no product. This is amazing for heatless curls with no product. This result is so much better than using the heatless curl set, because that is like a satin or silk material. I just feel like it doesn't ever create the best kind of heatless curl. Using this kind of material is the ultimate way. I feel like it was a success. Definitely with the bathrobe tie. Yeah, I really like the style. I think it's definitely voluminous. It's added lots of shape, lots of bounce, lots of volume. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. My name is Shonagh Scott. I'm a professional makeup artist, but I also do hair tutorials like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.